Hi, I'm Suzanne Bone. I'm the CEO of the foundation of Guelph General Hospital.
Hi, I'm Samir Patel. I'm the Chief of Diagnostic Imaging at Guelph General Hospital.
And we are here today to talk about Tour de Guelph 2021 and what Guelph General's share of the proceeds will fund this year. And really excited to tell you that Tour de Guelph proceeds will go towards a new MRI scanner. So Samir, maybe you can tell us, what does an MRI scanner do?
So an MRI scanner stands for magnetic resonance imaging. And basically the MRI is a big magnet, and we use that magnet to image the body. And we can use that to image virtually any part of the body to try and figure out what's going on with a patient in terms of what's causing their symptoms or pathology or diagnosing cancer. A very wide range of indications that we can use that scanner for.
So you talked about a couple of the reasons, but what are some of the most common reasons someone might need an MRI scan?
Yeah, so I'd say the most common studies that we do are we do a lot of imaging of the spine. So patients with neck pain or back pain, pain causing sciatica, patients with fractures. We also do a lot of musculoskeletal imaging, so imaging of joints and bones to try and figure out what's causing the patient's pain or other types of symptoms. And then it also does some very, very specialized testing. We can do MRIs of the breast, we can do MRIs of the prostate, all sorts of the liver, virtually any organ you can think of, we can image under the MRI and provide some very useful information to the physicians looking after our patients.
And so some of those sound like they're all pre-scheduled. Are there reasons that an MRI would be done on an emergency basis as well?
Yeah, so the vast majority of our cases in MRI are pre-scheduled. There certainly are cases where we are asked to do an MRI on an urgent basis. We do several cases a day for patients who are admitted to the hospital. Occasionally we do cases for patients presenting to the ER with acute life-threatening problems, life or limb-threatening problems. So yeah, it's a bit of a mix of both, but certainly the majority are pre-scheduled cases.
And how old is the scanner that we have now?
Yeah, so the current scanner is definitely a little bit long in the tooth. It was installed in 2007, which makes it about 14 years old, which doesn't sound that old, but in terms of the rapid pace of evolution of medical technology, that's quite old and definitely due for replacement.
One of the things that I always say to people when we talk about replacing technology, I say, think about what your cell phone looked like 14 years ago,
That's right.
or your TV, and it's the same with medical technology. So, what will some of the advantages be of a new scanner for us?
Yeah, so I'll put it into two big boxes. The first is just basically the image quality that we'll be able to obtain. So the resolution of the images, the detail that we're able to obtain of the images in the various organs will just be that much better than what we're used to. And a lot of that comes from software upgrades that you get with a new magnet. One of the other advantages is that we'll be able to do new types of examinations. So for example, right now, we have the ability to do breast MRI, but with the new magnet, we'll be able to also do biopsies for findings that we find under MRI that can only be seen under MRI. And now we'll be able to take samples from the breast while the patient is still in the MRI scanner. One of the other big advantages of the new scanner is that it's faster. So we'll be able to get the same quality of information in a shorter period of time. So that's convenient for the patient, nice for the patient to not have to lay in that magnet for a longer time, but also beneficial in terms of a more wholesome kind of view where we can service more patients in our community because we can just be that much more efficient. And then the last advantage is the MRI is basically just a big magnet, and so it's a big hollow bore, and the patient has to lay inside that bore. And the new magnets are larger than older magnets, and so for patients, a fair number of patients suffer with claustrophobia and have a difficult time staying in that magnet, and so the newer magnet will alleviate symptoms for some people for sure.
Well, that's great, because you do often hear that when people say, I need to get an MRI, but I'm a little claustrophobic. So yeah,
it's very common.
That will be great for them. And I know that our MRI program is already one of the most efficient programs in the province. So having this new scanner will just make us even more so.
I hope so. Yeah, we're very proud of the fact that we we utilize our resource to its utmost capability, both in terms of the imaging that we provide, but also in terms of how many patients we're able to image in our department. It's really quite remarkable.
Great. And when is it going to be here?
Yeah, so we are currently just starting a very comprehensive assessment of all the various options that are available to us. We'll look at all things in terms of the quality of the imaging, the cost, all those things will be factored in, and then we will hopefully have the new magnet operational within a year's time.
That's great. Well, I can't wait. I do remember when the first magnet arrived and we actually had to install it. It was lifted by a crane and went in through an exterior window. So quite a process to watch, and it'll be really exciting to have the new one installed. And all of you who are supporting Tour de Guelph, you're going to help us get there. Every dollar that we spend on patient care equipment at Guelph General comes from a donor, including all the funds that we're going to need for this MRI scanner. So thanks to all of you for participating. And Samir, thanks so much for spending time with us today to talk about the MRI scanner and how it's going to help us save lives and improve health.
It's my pleasure. And thank you everybody for your support of the hospital. We really do appreciate it.